team, I hope you're all well. First of all, my apologies, I have the snuffles, so I do have a cold. So if I feel a bit snuffly, if I sound a bit snuffly, I know I feel. If I sound a bit snuffly, that is why. But today we are going to be doing my November TBR using my Bookopoly board. But not only will we be using my Bookopoly board, but November is the month of Believathon, so I am really excited to be taking part in this. And the way that I am going to do my TBR for this month, for this round, is we're going to do my rolls on Bookopoly as usual, and then I have my Believathon mug here, which is full of 30 different pieces of card that all have numbers on them, and that's a 17. And we are going to pick out whatever I roll on the D12 die, we're going to match it, and we're going to pick out that many of these cards, and we are going to pick my books that way for Believathon. So I'm really excited. So I could end up with many books on my TBR, which, you know, is a great idea considering I am in the midst of a slump. It's mostly a fantasy slump, and I'm really hoping that by reading a bunch of middle grade fantasy it might help pull me out a little bit, because I always find middle grade fantasy so much more easier and calmer and, you know, just chill to get through. When I'm in a specific genre slump, I find that middle grade is the easiest way to get back into that genre specifically. So fingers crossed. I have a huge stack of middle grade books in front of me that I would really like to get to. So by doing this doesn't mean that could be my entire TBR for the month. If I get through all of these, I will carry on, keep pulling from here. I'll probably just do it in my reading vlogs, so make sure you keep up to date with those if you want to know what else I'm going to be reading. So without further ado, let's get into our D12 roll and find out how many rolls we are going to be having for the month of November. First of all, I apologise for that din. They couldn't friggin' wait, and neither can I. So do enjoy the background ambience of drilling and sawing. That is so fucking annoying. My apologies. But first of all, we're going to roll the D12 and find out what we are playing with. And that is a 6. I hope you can see that. It's lighting's not great, my apologies. So we rolled a 6, which isn't too bad. So at the end of the Bookopoly rolls and stuff, I will then pull out 6 cards from here. Or should I add any doubles on that I get as well? Let's make it interesting, add any doubles I get on as well. So 6 plus any doubles I get as well. So without further ado, let's get into the first roll. So we did end on Big Book last time, and our first roll is... we got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Disability rep. So for the first roll, I did get disability rep. Now, what I didn't mention beforehand was that I can still add middle grade books to my TBR as and where I want to. So I can still add those in. And then later on, when I pull from here, if a prompt is pulled and any of the books that are on my Bookopoly TBR match, I can add those as well, you know, just to help myself out a little bit. I am in a slump. So the first book is going to be El Deafo, which is a graphic novel by C.C. Bell, and this is following a young girl called Cece. It's her own voices, who is deaf, and she goes to a new school, and it turns out that her hearing aid has kind of like tuned in to the teacher's office, and she's hearing all these secrets, and she thinks that it makes her a superhero, and it's just, it sounds adorable. It is a middle grade. Cece is this character. She's so cute, and I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't read this before. I have picked this up, I think, for Believathon before, but I just never got round to it, so I'm really looking forward to getting around to it this time, and I am hyped. So that is my first book for Bookopoly, but also for Believathon as well. So disability rep nailed. Success. Our next roll, we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A horror or thriller. Roll number 2 was for a horror or a thriller. So for this one I am going to go for The Haunting of Evelyn Jones by Bill Hicks. This is following Evelyn Jones, who is haunted. As far as I know. Turn on your torches and join Evelyn Jones. Evelyn loves reading ghost stories, so a dreary half-term becomes much more exciting when she discovers a spooky old book. Not only are the stories spine-tingling, but it belongs to a girl called Primrose Penn Berthley, who vanishes mysteriously, never to be seen again. Intrigued, Evelyn decides to investigate Primrose's disappearance with some help from her new friend Harold. Now someone or something is stirring and it's looking for Evelyn. I've heard really good things about this and I know that Jade has really enjoyed this one, and I've heard great things, and I'm still not ready for spooky season to be over, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up for horror or thriller. Roll number 3. Oh, we got a double and we got 2, another horror or thriller. Roll number 3 brought us a double, so we're up to 7 rolls. And this one brought us another horror or thriller. We have got some small movements going on here. So for this one I did pick up The Last House on Needless Street by Katarina Ward. This has been getting a lot of hype recently and I've heard really good things, so I picked this up while I was in Waterstones the other day. I did get the exclusive edition with sprayed edges, and it's got some exclusive content as well, and it sounds really good. I did double check whether or not what age range this is, and it is adult, which is fine. So on the back it says, this is the story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. This is the story of Ted, who lives with his young daughter Lauren and his cat Olivia in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. An unspeakable secret binds the family together, and when a new neighbour moves in next door, the truth may destroy them all, because there's something buried in the dark forest at the end of Needless Street, but it's not what you think. Sounds really interesting, so I'm really looking forward to this one. It is a reasonably sized book. I don't know how many pages are in here. I haven't even bothered checking. Oh, there's an exclusive extract from the next book there. Where are we? Biography, acknowledgements. 369 pages, not too bad. So yeah, I've heard really good things, and again, keeping spooky season alive for the month of November. Roll number 4. We got 3. 1, 2, 3. A sci-fi. Roll number 4 brought us a sci-fi, and for this one I am going to be picking up a book that I am reviewing in the month of November, and that is Gear Breakers by Zoe Han Mikuta. I have heard really good things about this one. I believe it's queer, it is sci-fi, so I am looking forward to it. This was hyped earlier on in the year, but yeah, I am looking forward to it. On the back it says, just above the front of my overalls, the black dots that scatter across my collarbone. Why am I struggling with collarbone? Collarbone are blatant underneath the white shirt. One tiny inked gear for every takedown. 87 gears. 87 mechas scrapped from the skyline. I know what makes the wind-ups tick, and each time I creep inside their limbs I know precisely which pieces to pluck and shatter to make the entire atrocity collapse like a house of cards. Because as much as Godolia likes to preach otherwise, the line between their deities and scrap metal can be snipped away by simple human hate. I grin at my reflection. I won't say I'm synonymous with chaos. Not truly. If this world has taught me anything, it's that humans have no right to play and pretend at being gods. But I'm a gear breaker, and that comes pretty damn close. So it sounds really, really interesting, and I'm looking forward to reading and reviewing this one. I think my review for this one is the 22nd of November. If that's wrong, I will put it here. But yeah, Gear Breakers for sci-fi. Roll number 5 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A small book. Then roll number 5 was really nice and brought us a small book, and for this one I'm going to go for The Plentiful Darkness by Heather Castner. This did come in an Alcrate Junior box, and it sounds really, really interesting. This is like a mystery, middle grade mystery type book, and on the inside of the dust jacket it says, in order to survive on her own, 12-year-old Rooney DeBarra collects precious moonlight, which she draws from the evening sky with her very rare and most magical lunar mirror. All the while she tries to avoid the rival roughhouse boys and another more terrifying danger, the dark-hearted magician who's been disappearing children in the night. When Trick Aiden, the worst of the roughhouse boys, steals her mirror, Rooney would do whatever it takes to get it back, even if that means leaping into a pool of darkness after it swallows Trick and her mirror, or braving the plentiful darkness, a bewitching world devoid of skies and stars, or begrudgingly teaming up with Trick to confront the magician and unravel the magic who the magic that has trapped the Wary Bones children. God, that was a struggle at the end. But yeah, this sounds really, really interesting. Fantasy, thriller, not thriller, mystery, etc, etc. It sounds really, really interesting, so I am looking forward to this one. And it is small. It is 246 pages, so it is under 300 pages, so I am looking forward to this one. Roll number 6 is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A romance. Then we landed on romance, which I'm really happy about because I'm living for my romance at the moment. And for this one, I'm going to pick up another book that I have for review, and that is Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. I read Sophie's debut novel last year and absolutely loved it. I got a review copy of that, so really looking forward to this one. And on the front it says 2021 might just be the year for romance after all, and on the back it says, will the wrong suitcase lead her to love? So there isn't a synopsis for this one, so I do have the sheet. The sheet. This comes out on the 11th of November in paperback in the UK, so keep your eyes open. And on the back it says, tell me the story of how you two met. Hopeless romantic Laura has spent her career as a journalist telling other people's unbelievable love stories. But when it comes to her own love story, it seems she keeps looking for the one in all the wrong places. That is until she picks up the wrong suitcase at the airport by mistake and finds inside contents that just might belong to the man of her dreams. From romantic piano sheet music to a battered copy of her favourite book, Laura knows the signs she's been waiting for. And if her job has taught her anything, it's that when it comes to love, you can't let an opportunity pass you by. And so Laura is determined to track down the mysterious suitcase owner and her own happy ending. But fate, as always, might just have other ideas. This is perfect for fans of Josie Silver, Vahira Mclaughlin, Jojo Moyes and Beth O'Leary. I love Vahira Mclaughlin and Beth O'Leary, so I am looking forward to this one. Also, I loved Sophie's last book, so really excited about this one. Looking forward to giving it a read and reviewing this one. So yeah, keep your eyes open on my thoughts for this one. Hyped indeed. And hopefully our 7th and final roll, we have 3. 1, 2, 3, another romance. And then the 7th and final roll brought up another romance, which I'm really, really happy about. And for this one, I am going to go for The Holiday Switch by Tiff, Marcello. And yes, I am keeping spooky season alive in November whilst also bringing in the festive season. I am not sorry in the slightest. So for this one, it says on the back, he's switching up her holiday plans. Leila Santos is ready for her last winter break of high school. The snow in her small town of Holly, New York is plentiful. The mood is as cozy and fuzzy as Christmas sweater, and she's earning extra cash working at the local inn. The setting of the greatest film of all time, Holiday by the Lake, while moonlighting as an anonymous book blogger. Nice. But Layla's perfect holiday plans crash to a halt when her boss's frustratingly cute nephew, Teddy Riviera, becomes her co-worker. Layla is type A, Teddy is type anything but Layla's way, and the two of them can't stop butting heads over tangled icicle lights and messy gift shop merch. But when they accidentally switch phones one afternoon, they realise they've been hiding things from each other. Will their secrets and their unexpected snowstorm bring these rivals together? So excited. On the back it says, I swooned for the romance, Jasmine Gilroy. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's not very long either. This is 261 pages long, so it's a short one. So yeah, here for this festive romance. Okay, so editing Steph here. Because I am useless, and I entirely forgot that because I failed massively at my TBR in the month of October, that I need to do a punishment roll. I wouldn't normally, because I'm in a slump and it's, you know, not my own fault, but I did horrifically fail. I don't think I read a single book on my October TBR, so we are going to do a punishment roll. So I'm going to go and do roll number 8 now, and I will let you know what I'm reading. Okay, so roll number 8 for the punishment roll. Let's go. And we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 5-star prediction. Okay, so roll number 8 brought us a 5-star prediction, and this actually, it turns out to be entirely perfect because there was a middle grade book that I wanted to get on here, and it is a 5-star prediction for me, and I'm really looking forward to picking it up, and that is Popkin and Stubs Ghost Catchers. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Popkin and Stubs follows Lil Popkin and Nedley Stubs, and Lil lives in a town where there are 2 newspaper places. Essentially, she wants to be a reporter, but she wants to work for the proper one, which is the Claxton, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Claxton. And she essentially is looking for her big break so that she can get a story, so that she can go and apply for a job there. However, it turns out her big break may come in the form of Nedley Stubs, and the story just kind of goes from there. And this is the 3rd and I think final book in the series. I've loved this series so far. It's really, really cute, and on occasion you will get the odd illustration. Where have you gone? You may get the odd illustration in here, which the illustrations and the covers have been done by Carl James Mountford as well, which is one of Jade's favourite illustrators of all time. So yeah, really looking forward to picking this one up. I'm glad that my punishment has ended up being not too much of a punishment, so I'm happy to take this one on the chin. And that, my dudes, is everything for my TBR as far as Bookopoly is concerned, and this is what it looks like. This is really, really nice, and I am really happy about it. I am missing my adult fantasy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really, really, really missing it, but it's really nice to see, you know, just like a really smallish TBR. This for me is a small TBR. I know this might look big to some people, but this for me is a small TBR, so I'm really looking forward to this. We've got plenty of middle grade on here, which I'm excited about. We've got some romances, both festive and non. We have some sci-fi, and we have some thrillers as well, so a nice mix of genres as well, which I'm really looking forward to. So we now have to go through and do the Believathon picks as well. So like I said, my middle grade from my Bookopoly can also go on here if they fit the prompt. If not, I will end up with more books. So already I have 3 middle grade books. We have The Plentiful Darkness, which is a middle grade fantasy thriller-ish type book. We have The Haunting of Evelyn Jones, which is a horror mystery thriller type book. And then we have El Deafo, which would count for disability rep, also new voices, own voices, sorry, and also graphic novel. So, and a small book as well. In fact, all of these would count for small books. So let's see what we pick out of the Believathon Cup for pick number 1. We will be doing 7 of these, and I will pick the books as I'm going rather than pulling all 7 out first. So the first one is number 16, which, if I check my trusty little book, is to read a contemporary. There's nothing more real than a story of us reflected in pages. There's much to discuss. Read any book that's a contemporary. Essentially anything set in present day that isn't fantasy will work for this challenge. So let me check with my pile.
75 years later.
Okay, so I did have a couple of options for this one, but I am going to pick something that could count for something else. It's got a mystery element to it, but it is a contemporary set in this world, as far as I'm aware, anywho. Yeah, Britain's most famous steam train. It's the Highland Falcon Thief, anyway, by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. I know that Jade has been banging on at me for ages about reading this one, so I did need to get it on my TBR for this Believathon, because I want to get to it as soon as possible. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This is following Harrison Beck and his uncle Nat, who are enjoying their final journey of the Highland Falcon, Britain's most famous steam train. But when a precious jewel goes missing, Harrison and his new friend Lenny find themselves in the centre of an investigation. Can they solve the mystery and catch the culprit before they reach the end of the line? So it is a mystery, but it's also contemporary. It's set in present day, so I am looking forward to this one. So back to the mug, my battery is flashing. We'll see how far we can get before I have to change this out. And we have, let's go for this one, number 7. Okay, what is number 7 in our trusty little book? A sibling relationship. Nothing at all can tear them apart. They're one and the same, their own counterpart. Read a book that has siblings in it. They can either be focus of the book or the main character has a sibling in the background. Nice. So, let's see what I have. Okay, I actually have the perfect one for this and I'm really, really excited. We've got The Battle for Raw by Jenny Mclaughlin. I am so excited about picking this one up. I've been holding off picking it up because I wanted to save it for Believathon. And this is following siblings. What are they called? Because it's been a hot minute before I read this series. Rose and Arthur are back in Roy on a voyager that takes them further than they've been before, beyond the end. It's an epic adventure full of secrets, surprises and fairies with fangs, but a mysterious storm changes everything. Shipwrecked on a strange island, they make a shocking discovery. Could this be the end of Raw? I bloody hope not. Well, I know that this is the last one in the series, which makes me sad. But thank you to Tracy for gifting me this one. I'm really, really hyped about picking it up. As mentioned, Rose and Arthur are siblings, so it does count for that one. I'm so excited I've been able to get this on here. So yeah, that is my second book for Believathon. I'm going to go and change this battery out and I will be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. So we are on to pick number 3 for Believathon. And we has a number 5. Which is trusty book. Read an anticipated book. Exciting. By the force of a patient heart, a lifetime to wait before you start. Read any book that you've been excited to read and have been either holding off for or it's brand new. That could have counted for the Battle of Raw. To be fair, there's so many that I have been holding off on reading for this. But I think, oh no, I have like 3 main ones and it's these 3. So we've got Shadowghast by Thomas Taylor, Frostheart by Jamie Littler and Rainbow Grey by Laura Ellen Anderson. Now, which of these am I most, because I want to read them all, am I most likely to be able to get back onto here with the prompts? I actually think I'm going to pick, also because this will count for big book, I think I'm going to pick up Shadowghast by Thomas Taylor, actually, because I've been really, really anticipating this one as well. I really love this series. This is an Arion Sea mystery, so it's another mystery book as well, which is great. And we're following both Violet and Herbie. So on the back it says, welcome to Arion Sea where nothing is as it seems. On the eve of a ghastly night, a hypnotic stage magician turns up in Arion Sea and makes an unexpected claim on Herbie. Violet's guardian, the owner of Airy Book Dispensary, vanishes into thin air and others soon follow. Are these events connected? Herbie and Violet are determined to find out, but surrounded by so much shadow and illusion, will they ever uncover the truth? The first in this series is Malamander, the second is Gargantus, and I've been loving this series so far. It's so good. So I am really, really excited to continue on with this one and pick this one up as well, because I have been holding off on picking this one up. To be fair, this has only just come in, but I've been highly anticipating it, so I'm very, very excited indeed. So that is book number 3 out of 7 for these picks. So let's go. Here's me now hoping that like big book comes up or something. What's this one? Number 18. We has, this feels like bingo a little bit. It's nice, I kind of like it. Maybe I should have done a bingo board. Read a short book. Oh, naturally, now that I'm waiting for a big book to come up. A book, a few words can still make an impact. Less is more and more is less. It's a matter of fact. Read any book that's considered a short book. That can be a novella, a short story or anything under 250 pages. So let's see what I have as options for this. I have a few graphic novels that could work, but I don't know if they're under 250 pages. Yep, okay, they all work. Great. Helpful. I think I'm actually going to go for a graphic novel for this one. So I have Snapdragon, The Ghoul Next Door, and I have The Midwinter Witch, which is part of a series that I am partway through. And I think I'm going to go for The Midwinter Witch, actually. Again, it keeps my spooky vibes alive, but also I'm partway through the series, in which I'm following a boy called Aster in the first one. I'm not going to read off the back of here because it is the 3rd in the series, but Aster is a young boy who basically in his family, boys become shapeshifters, girls become witches. However, he hasn't kind of come into his shapeshifting and he really wants to be a witch, but he's really behind on learning these things, and it's kind of like a gender thing as well, and it's not a thing where boys become witches. However, some stuff goes down and things kind of change within camp, And yeah, we've gotten some friends now of Asta's and things are going down, and it's really, really good, and I'm really enjoying this series so far. I'm hoping this isn't the last one, but we will see what happens. But yeah, it's really, really cute middle grade graphic novel series. So book number 4 chosen. Let's go in for book number 5. I kind of just want to do this all day. Having a great time. Okay, number 11. Can you see that? Number 11. Let's see what the trusty book says. A release before 2021. Winds of time to cast you out. A relic will save you, there is no doubt. Read a book that was released before the year of 2021. Okay, so
Many unbearable hours later.
okay, so the book that I'm going to pick for this one, I did have a few options actually, but the book I'm going to pick for this one is one that I'm already partway through and I've just not carried on with, but I really want to finish. And it is Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lipinski. This edition specifically is 2021, but the book in general came out in 2020, in April 2020. The second one has just recently come out, but this one is a Owl Crate Junior. This specific edition is an Owl Crate Junior one, and I got it this year. So it is a 2021 edition specifically, but the book itself came out last year, so it counts. I'm gonna say it counts. This one is on the in the cover. It says, at the Strange Worlds Travel Agency, each suitcase transports you to a different world. When 12-year-old Flick Hudson accidentally ends up in Strange Worlds Travel Agency, she uncovers a fantastic secret. There are hundreds of other worlds just steps away from ours. All you have to do to visit them is jump in the right suitcase. Then Flick gets an invitation of a lifetime. Join Strange Worlds Magical Travel Agency, Society, and explore other worlds. But unbeknownst to Flick, the world at the very centre of it all, a city called Five Lights, is in danger. Buildings and even streets are mysteriously disappearing. Once Flick realises what's happening, she must race against time, travelling through uncharted worlds, seeking a way to fix Five Lights before it collapses into nothingness and takes our world with it. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's just that I put it down one day and didn't pick it back up again. It was a me thing, not the book. It's always a me thing. So I'm on page 104 and I do really want to carry on with this one and finish this one off, so we're going to put that one in for this prompt. Okay, so pick number 6. I'm a little bit nervous now. What if I don't end up with like Frost Heart or Popkin, Stubs or Rainbow Grey on here? I'm scared. Number 10. What is number 10? Let's find out together. That's number 11. Read a book released in 2021. A recent spell has gone awry. A newfound knowledge you must rely. Read any book that was released in the year 2021. Cool beans. So we're going to dive in and we're going to go for Frost Heart because I'm terrified I'm not going to get this on here otherwise, by Jamie Little. This is the third and final book in this Frost Heart series. This is The Rise of the World Eaters, and in this series we are following Ash, who basically was left at a place by his parents while they went out exploring many moons ago, and he decides that he wants to go out and try and find them. Now there are dangerous things out on the ice and stuff, and he's got to be really careful. He ends up on this ship called the Frost Heart and with this crew, and it's just really good adventure, and I just love it so much. Jamie does all his illustrations himself. His book is heavily illustrated right throughout, and I do have the Waterstone special edition as well to match my other editions, and I'm really looking forward to this, but I'm terrified because I don't want it to end. I've loved this series, so yeah, looking forward to picking up Frost Heart, The Rise of the World Eater. So that is book number 6. Kind of glad we've done 7. So final book. I don't want this to be the final book. Maybe I should have done 10. Maybe. We'll see what this one comes up with. Maybe I'll do a couple more. After saying that though, 7's a nice number because I've got those other 3 that I haven't added on yet from my Bookopoly that I can add on, and that will give me 10. Okay, we got number 23. I don't think we've had a 20 something yet, so let's see what this one is. Number 23. A book with winter vibes. Okay. The temperature drops. It's cold in our town. Grab a hot chocolate. Let the snow fall down. Read any book that gives you winter vibes. This could be a book set during winter or even a book set during Christmas. So I think really the only book that I have that fits this is Winter House by Ben Gutterson, which is a book that I've picked up solely because of the cover. It does sound incredible as well, but it's solely because of the cover. Jade got gifted this for her birthday. I was there when she was doing her unboxing and I noticed that these were windows in the cover. like so. And the dust underneath the dust jacket looks like this. So I was absolutely buzzing my little head off about that find. So yeah, I then went and bought a copy. So this is Orphan Elizabeth Summers' Malevolent Aunt Purdy and Uncle Burlap ship her off to the ominous Winter House Hotel, owned by the peculiar Norbridge Falls. Upon arrival, Elizabeth quickly discovers that Winter House has many charms, most notably its massive library. It's not long before she locates a magical book of puzzles that will unlock a mystery involving Norbridge and his sinister family. But as she uncovers the hotel's secrets, Elizabeth starts to realise that she is somehow connected to Winter House for better or for worse. Mystery, adventure and beautiful writing combine in this exciting debut set with Hotel Full of Secrets. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm hoping the writing style isn't flowery. It says beautiful, but I'm hoping it's not flowery. But it's got really nice illustrations throughout here as well. Oh, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm intrigued to find out. So I am looking forward to this one. It sounds really, really good. And it's got the word winter in it. So that is the 7th book for Believathon. So that hasn't gone too badly. As you can see now, this is now my middle grade pile, including the 4 books off of my Bookopoly TBR, which are Popkin and Stubs, Evelyn Jones, The Plentiful Darkness and El Deafo. So I'm doing okay, not doing too bad, I don't think. But if you add on the other 4 books as well from my Bookopoly TBR, this is now what my TBR looks like, which, you know, is a little bit more standard for me if you catch my drift. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books on my November TBR. I wouldn't mind going back into the Believathon mug actually and pulling some more books, so I am hoping I get the opportunity to do that later on in the month, but we will see, no pressure. But yeah, I'm very excited about all of these books. I do this every time because obviously I film this earlier on in the month. I tend to film it a week before if I can, but sometimes it can be 2 weeks before, and I do get to a point where I'm just like, you know what, I want to go into my next TBR now because I'm very excited. So I have like 5 or 6 days of the month left, and I have to hold off until then. So I'm looking forward to this lot, and I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments down below if you're taking part in Believathon. What are you really looking forward to in the month of November? And I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.